So let me just explain what is opening range breakout in less than 30 seconds because most of the traders here are beginners. So this is a 5-minute time frame chart. Usually opening range breakout should be traded on a 15-minute or a 30-minute time frame chart. Now, depending upon time frame, I will tell you how a full-time trader and a working professional should adapt. Now, this is a 5-minute time frame chart. So these three candles form the first 15-minute range. So this is the high point of the 15-minute range. This is the low point, this candle here. So this becomes the opening range as per the 15-minute time frame chart. Now this is 5-minute time frame chart. The same data on a 15-minute time frame chart looks like this. So this candle is formed due to these three 5-minute candles. So these three are 5-minute candles and this is one 15-minute candle. So in an opening range breakout, you just mark out the high point and low point on a 15-minute time frame chart and then you wait for a breakout or breakdown to happen on a chart. Now this is the basic framework. Now at times in opening range breakout, first you will see the breakout happening in one direction. Price will not be able to sustain that and will simply head in the opposite direction. Now for example, let's assume that a breakout has happened in this case on the upside. Eventually what you will see is that price will not be able to move higher and will simply roll down and start moving lower. So this is called a false breakout. So this is where importance of volume comes in opening range breakout. When the breakout eventually happens, do check for volume activity. Volume should be clearly higher than the recent volume seen on the chart. This is a very important filter and this will help you avoid false trades based on this setup. And once the opening range candle finishes, do take a note of the volume activity immediately after this candle. The main reason being that as price will move in the direction of breakout, volume activity should pick up. This just tells you that stronger hands are entering the stock and probability of stock heading higher does increase. Now when you're trading the opening range breakout, you will encounter such patterns where a clear breakout is visible but the volume activity has not picked up. So this is the first candle for the day. This is the high point, this is the low point. So this becomes the opening range and then you get a bullish candle which clearly moves above this range, but look at the volume activity. In case you're tracking this on real time and you encounter such patterns, then prefer not to trade these. The main reason I say so is because volume actually represents the commitment of traders behind a price move, and more often than not when a breakout happens or a breakdown happens, make sure that volume expansion kicks in because that tells you that commitment of traders is behind the current price move and odds certainly increase with this. So volume activity is one of the first filters that I use to filter trades in opening range breakout, and as you practice this on real-time basis, you will understand why I emphasize so much on volume activity as well as price activity. So one more key role of volume is to help you identify false opening range breakout. Now this is the opening candle of the day. This is the 5-minute time frame chart. So this candle along with these two candles forms the opening range for the session. So this is the high point and this is the low point. Now fourth candle tries to move below the low point of the day, that is below the opening range, but look at the volume activity. Now had this candle been strong and wide in range and volume activity been like this, then let me tell you, avoid taking such structures. The main reason being that when I studied all the false trades that usually play out with opening range breakout, the one common element I found was that the breakout candle did not carry substantial volume. So when it comes to setting up a stop loss, now in the live module I already mentioned that a working professional should be marking a stop loss level much lower than this, and he can use the same structure that is of opening range breakout to hold positions for 3 to 4 sessions. Now when it comes to day trading, as and when the breakout happens, use the session low as stop loss if the trade is on the long side. Now if the trade is on the short side, then the high point of the session becomes your stop loss. So this opening range breakout setup can be used by both part-time traders and working professionals just based on how you set the stop loss on the trade. And one advantage that a working professional has is that after the trade is set, he does have a lot of time on his hands, and during day trades, many a times it is seen that after a breakout, price simply consolidates and starts moving higher over the next 2 to 3 sessions. And this is where a working professional has a distinctive advantage over a day trader. So one thing that I follow closely when it comes to day trading is the VWAP indicator, and in particular I like to see the price action around VWAP to determine who remains in control. So if you look at what happened at the VWAP indicator, this is Reliance Industries. The opening candle tested it out. The next candle was again narrow in range. Look at the volume activity here. There is no intent of sellers to take the price below the VWAP with conviction. Then then you get this third candle here, again somewhat average volume activity, price manages to head above the VWAP here. And in all these three candles, if you see, there is some element of tail that is visible. Now when the breakout candle eventually emerged, look at the volume expansion here, and when the breakout was happening, I was clear in my mind that sellers were unable to take price below the VWAP level decisively. This is combined with the fact that look at the candles at VWAP and look at the relative volume activity. What I like to see when it comes to day trading and even short-term trading, because price action at VWAP gives you huge clues about who remains in control and in which direction the price might eventually head. So this is the chart of Grasim Industries. This is the VWAP indicator. Again, look at the price action around VWAP indicator here. So when the first candle formed, this was an indecision candle, had both tail and long wick. Look at the high volume activity. Then take a look at these subsequent 4 to 5 candles on the chart. All these candles were at the VWAP level, and when I was seeing this playing out in real time, all I wanted to look for is the breach of this opening range here on back of high volume activity. Now that did not come about. In fact, when the breach happened below the VWAP indicator and below the opening range low, look at the volume activity. So this was a second failed attempt by sellers to drive price below the VWAP indicator on back of low conviction. And conviction here I am measuring simply by looking at volume. So when the final breakout happened above the high point of the opening range, price was clearly above the VWAP indicator. Again, a small tail here at the VWAP level. This is a very common concept, and this repeats day in, day out when it comes to trading stocks, that is with the VWAP indicator. And then price simply started moving higher. And look at the volume activity here. So this volume gets more meaning in form of a wide range candle, a strong candle taking support at the VWAP level, and these candles that got rejected right at the VWAP, these had very little volume here. Now this is when I knew that this volume was of more significance because of the strong candle and the weak rejection that had happened at the VWAP level. So this clearly tells you that sellers just did not have the conviction to drive prices lower. Now every trader has his own set of tools to measure the overall trend bias and the overall price structure. For me it is VWAP indicator, but for you it can be some moving average or some other indicator. So let me just quickly summarize the opening range breakout guidelines. After these guidelines are over, I will then play out the Reliance Industries live module. So there are three main important things to consider: time frame, volume and volatility. Now when it comes to time frame, be consistent, either choose a 15-minute or 30-minute time frame and then stick with it. For me, I measure price structure through VWAP. For you, it can be some other indicator as well. When it comes to volume, make sure that whenever the breakout happens, volume expansion should be visible. Avoid all those breakout trades where volume does not expand. Third point here is that of volatility. When it comes to opening range breakout as a strategy, it is much more useful when the volatility index is above 18 value. Now when VIX is high, opening range breakout will outperform as a strategy. Avoid using this strategy in low volatility environment. So it's Monday 9:43 in the morning, and look at this structure here. This is opening range breakout happening in Reliance. This is a 15-minute time frame chart. So I'll just mark out the stop loss level that working professionals can use and still go long. Opening range breakout is a day trading strategy. Look at this candle, exceptionally strong volumes. But opening range breakout can also be used by working professionals by marking out much deeper stop losses, and then you can take the trade. So when it comes to my own trading, by now most of you would have understood that I like such structures forming on the chart: wide range candles, strong candles. I also look for volume expansion. This is a telltale sign that stronger participants are present. Again, look at this candle, price is at 18.13 now, and I don't think Reliance is going to retrace much today. It is forming a bullish structure. And in case you're a day trader, then place a stop loss somewhere here. Now this is, I think, 1790, 1792 level, and currently price here is already moving higher. This is fresh day's high for Reliance. It's at 1814 now. Based on how Reliance is structured, I think somewhere around 1840, even 1850 can show up today. And in this video, I'll just show you how opening range breakout can be used by both day traders and working professionals. As far as working professionals is concerned, you can use the same setup but have a much deeper stop loss in order to ride the trend over the next 3 to 4 sessions. Obviously for day traders, I just marked out the stop loss level at 1792. So take a look at this candle, just about 40 seconds left for this candle to finish, 23 seconds in fact, and price is just moving higher, 1816 now, and this is a fresh day's high for Reliance. And see, the thing is, Nifty is up about 1.13%, Bank Nifty is up 1.93%, advanced decline ratio is 3:1. So definitely broader market momentum is really strong today, and it is reflecting in the fact in how Reliance is moving, in how other large cap stocks are moving. So this is one more factor that I consider when it comes to day trading. Obviously, I want to carry forward this trade in Reliance because entry price was good. So I'll be using this stop loss for day trading and this stop loss for swing trading or even short-term trading. So it's 9:54, fresh day's high for Reliance. Look at the price action here at VWAP. Now when I finish the live module, I will explain a few things about what exactly I'm spotting, especially on a 5-minute time frame chart. I currently have a 15-minute time frame chart open. I'm also tracking Grasim Industries very closely. I do feel an entry opportunity would be in the offing in Grasim Industries very soon. I'm just tracking some of the volume activity over there as well. I'll again update that once I finish the video. So currently price is at 1836 and look at this candle, again a fresh day's high. What I'll do is I'll just mark out a trailing stop level now for a working professional. It would be somewhere around 1805. So this candle again represents that stronger participants are present, and your job as a working professional is to ride the trend and just keep adjusting your trailing stop so that you can book out profits. And usually such candles are a sign that there are a lot of stronger participants present, and for a day trader especially, such candles do give an opportunity to scale out positions. This is what I do. If you have watched my previous videos, I use such wide range candles to exit positions. So let me now come to the section where I'll explain when you have to use opening range breakout. Now let me tell you that opening range breakout is a strategy that will only work for a limited period of time. And for that, you directly need to track what Indian volatility index is doing. In case you're trading in the US market or the UK market, then look at the respective volatility index. Now on March 9th, this is what I tweeted about opening range breakout as a strategy. That is, the performance of this strategy will be really good for the next many months as far as VIX remains above 20. So this is the criteria that you have to check, and keep this in mind all the time. Now this is where on March 9th VIX moved above the 20 mark, and since then I have been using opening range breakout fairly regularly, and currently VIX is still at 25 level, which is still very high, and I do feel for the next couple of more months, at least till October, I think opening range breakout as a strategy will continue to work. Now it's absolutely crucial as a trader to understand how volatility impacts you, and therefore for the next 3 to 4 weeks I will try and make few videos on volatility and how it fits in overall in a trading process, and how a price action trader should be thinking both in terms of trade management and overall volatility of the market. You also need to focus on the right set of stocks for this strategy to work, and what I would suggest in the price action trading series that I've done, do watch the videos where I have covered volatility contraction and expansion. If you can combine a stock's volatility cycle with the Indian volatility index and then focus upon opening range breakout, then your results are going to be really good. So do watch the remaining price action trading videos that I've done. There are about 23 videos now, and these will help you get better at both day trading and short-term trading. So thanks a lot for watching this video, guys. Kindly consider hitting the like button and sharing this video if you find the content useful. Take care and be safe.